Oh, lost. Should win your first question. Hey guys, continuing with more of the OTB content. Another game here from Pub Chess in Toronto. And in this game, I found myself playing a French defense. I decided to play e4. And as you can see maybe by how quickly and confidently my opponent is moving, he's definitely an above average player, certainly at the event. Very quick moves coming out from him. We had played one game just prior to this with colors reversed, so we were definitely warmed up. As you can see, the game beside me drawing a little bit of my attention. And that's just what it's like when you're hanging out in the pub and there's other chess games going. I think that's most people's natural reaction. It's fair to say that the opening phase has gone fairly well for me so far. I have the two bishops, but I need to decide how to use them. This knight I want to kick out with c4, but I'm not so confident about allowing knight b4. It seems unnecessary and annoying. So I was considering moves that protected the b4 square that allowed me to play c4. I was considering whether bishop g5 to prevent queenside castling would be any good, or whether black would respond h6 g5 and just kick my bishop out and start a pawn storm. I knew I was better, but I wanted to take my time and really find the right move. My opponent is going for a very, simple and good approach. First of all, when playing a stronger player, and definitely when you're playing in this kind of environment, he's going for the first move that comes to his mind. He's not necessarily doing that well here, but he's up a lot on the clock, and he's not down any material. Interestingly enough, my opponent here is someone that I've actually run into in the past. I went to school at UWO, Western Ontario, and so did he. And before I became the eventual president of the chess club, while he was finishing up his school there, he was the president of the same chess club. So we overlapped a little bit in school a while back, so it was interesting to reconnect. As you can see, it was not our first time at the event. Eric has been there before and played some of the people. Now, I think it's become apparent to most of you, if you've been watching, that I'm decently distracted in this video. There's a interesting game beside me, lots of chatter, there's people talking beside the camera. Not that I'm complaining about any of this, but it definitely contributed to what you're about to see. I thought that my pawn was my bishop, and my bishop was my pawn. I honestly thought these were flipped around. So I was preparing to play rook takes d7, rook takes, and bishop takes e6. Winning. Now I realize it does not work at all, and panic sets in. Jokingly, my friend Kevin calls me a FIDE master and confuses some of the people who've been told by other people that I'm a grandmaster. So I got that convo going, and then after I totally misfire and mix up the placement of those two pieces, I decide to play it off with a little joke that, yeah, I'm definitely not a grandmaster. Look what I just did. I just lost the exchange. I can't be a GM. No way. And my opponent, rightfully so, replies, I don't need your pity. Which I totally understand, and I definitely don't like that in the moment it came off as me giving the pieces to him for free, because I, first of all, would never do that. I never, let people win. I never do things like that on purpose. But during the game, in order to keep him psyched out and on his toes, I didn't want to let him know that I had blundered. So, a bit of a competitive edge here. So I played it off as a joke. I'm just a FIDE master, look at me blunder. But he is up a full exchange here. The move e5 I didn't like by him, giving me the bishop outpost, but I am really losing this game. I'm down on time, and I'm down on the position. So this was a game where I was really in trouble. And my opponent just goes a little bit crazy here, allowing me to get this pawn. And now it's time to calculate. What the heck is going on here? I was happy that my opponent went for a think here, because I was absolutely using the time to think as well. G7 is a winning move because the bishop covers the queening square. But I certainly can't allow F2 to fall. And I really spent my time here calculating a lot of lines. G7 is prevented. Queen G4 check, followed by G7. Seems to run into Queen D2 and Queen H6 as a perpetual, at the very least. And maybe there's even worse than that, with Queen F2 and Queen F1. So I wasn't sure about Queen check, even though it allows me to play G7. And I spent the majority of my time calculating this move. At this point I knew I was winning. I don't think Queen F2 and Rook H8 were the most accurate moves by my opponent.
I feel like there's something there, obviously. Well, I was just something there. But you still need to like go crazy, you know, like G5, build it up very slow. You know, even like the instinct to just put that king on dark square so that there's nothing in it. It's like good.
When I'm playing against worse opponents, like I probably should prep my attack more, but it just works. Like they just get scared and they defend it.
And it can get you in a bad habit when it continues to work.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
It's like Ellie Reza playing bullet before the candidates.
Exactly. I know we were joking around, but I did not do this on purpose. So I thought that my bishop was my pawn, and I was going to play take, and bishop takes e6.
Oh.
Being honest. So I took it, and I was like, going to grab this. So then I mean, what to do with take and play. But yeah, I didn't do that. No pity.